very much enjoying it so far. It's pretty huge in scale. Just like the fact that it's like in so many different hotels, and one section's like all the vendors, and other sections like celebrities and stuff like that. It's really really cool. But I think the dopest part is that it just is continuously going on like all night. Like get up at 3 a.m. and go out, and people are still cosplaying, having fun. It's pretty dope.
Are you getting any sleep?
I got so much sleep already. Like yesterday, what's crazy is like I think Gus's fried chicken has like a lot of tryptophan in it because I got some yesterday, and I planned on turning up last night, and all I did was turn up in bed at like 8:30. Like I slept from like 8:30 like this morning, so it's like whoa, But it's the food here is so good. What are you gonna do?
Mm-hmm. So, what is your headspace like as you had this blow up moment with Arrow? You had a lot of parts and some voice acting before now, and so now that you are an established actor, a star, and it's kind of a dream space, what does that feel like to us people who have to go to work Tuesday?
Yeah. Man, well, I have to go to work Tuesday too, but it's still very surreal for me. It's something I've known I've wanted to do since I was 7 years old. Like I always knew like I want to do what Jim Carrey and Will Smith does. And to really to be at it, and for like the years to be piling on and still be getting work in this field is just like truly a blessing, and I feel fortunate and thankful for it every day that I get to keep doing it. Not a lot of people get to do it, and it's a really tough industry to crack into and get your foot in the door. And I'm just like really, I feel fortunate and just thankful that I get to be living a dream that I've been wanting to live since I was a kid. But I think the thing is like I still feel pretty normal. I haven't changed any of my life outside of buying more Jordans. That's about it. But it's a great change. But I like to take pride in just not being different. Like I stay in a studio in Vancouver. I use public transportation out there, and so it's like I don't feel like I got to change much about what I do or drive a Prius. Like I very like money and fame or whatever. Like I think it amplifies who you are, and if you're like a jerk, then you'll be a mega jerk. Or if you're just somebody who just kind of like to chill, you just chill probably even more. And I kind of feel like I'm on that aspect. I love art. I love entertaining. So it's just really about getting out there and trying to put out the art that I can.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Can I ask you? So you're here at Dragon Con. There's fandom for everything. Like, what are you a big fan of that you like wanted to see here? Yeah,
like even getting to see Kane and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was pretty huge. I mean, I grew up WWF, like so hard, and WCW and everything like that, and getting to see them was like pretty dope. And Kane was like such a like down to earth, cool dude, and we took pictures. And I said this to my friends at Box. It was like, I told you to come here, what I'm saying? Like, man, But like, I got to take a picture with Stan Lee, which is like, whoa, just like mind blowing. And it's very surreal because it's really cool to have just all these different aspects of media and stuff that we all like nerd out over, and to all be in the same place. It's like a really dope feeling. Because normally I do like heroes and villains, and it's just like heroes from TV shows and stuff like that. But to get to see like wrestlers and artists and like all these other people, like comic book legends, is like really dope to get to come in there and geek out on that. I think the only thing I would need is just more video game people, because that's always been like my number one nerddom, like fandom, is like video games, like so I would just like to see Hideo Kojima here or something, what I'm saying, like just like mix it up. But it's been really surreal, and to be on that side of the table too, and not just to be like a fan and come check it out, but to be like a actor who's invited to be a guest here and still kind of get that fanboy aspect going is like really cool.
You've done some work on Rick and Morty, some voice acting. I bet that's a pretty crazy crew to work with. You got some behind the scenes stories for us?
Yeah, I mean, the rap parties are always very insane. They had a party on the boat at Comic-Con. I got to meet Sansa Stark, Sophie Turner, which was pretty dope. Joycelyn Roiland is like a good friend of mine, and he's working on this video game right now called Accountant. I'm doing a couple voices on that, and he always calls me in to do Rick and Morty and stuff like that. But I mean, they're definitely insane. But it's just like when you're working in a booth, it's just very condensed. It's just you and maybe the director, maybe Justin or something like that, and, you know, just kind of getting the most out. So it's a little different, like if you were like all acting together and then you're like, let's get drinks afterwards, and you like go out and some crazy shenanigans happen or whatnot. It's kind of like I'm in, and then like, you know, he's in to do like Rick, and then so it's like kind of really streamline how they have it. But they are definitely insane people. So yeah, definitely know that.
So you play Mr. Terrific on Arrow, who is at least in the show, a gay black man.
Mm-hmm.
How has that affected, you know, considering the politics, current politics now, and then the sexual politics of black men in society? How have you navigated that? Like, what has that meant to you, just in terms of representation and just kind of the effects it sometimes has?
Well, for me, I think it's very important to have that type of representation on screen. I think that type of stuff, seeing it really affects change and just affects how people view things. I mean, Joe Biden talked about how Will and Grace single-handedly like helped change people's perspective on, you know, people in the LGBTQ community. It doesn't mean that like I still don't get flack from people or just like haters coming out saying whatever they can, you know, F words, whatever it is, you know, just because they're like, well, how could you betray that or whatever, you know, like that kind of, you have to be this certain way. And a lot of times it's especially true for, you know, the black community. Like, you know, they do feel like, some people do feel like you have to be extra masculine or whatever, you know, or you're letting down the community in a lot of ways. But my aspect is like, we're all different, you know, everyone is here just trying to live their lives. And if somebody's gay, that has nothing to do with their masculinity or anything like that, which I think is why I try to play Curtis just like normal. I'm not trying to like play him flamboyant or any type of stereotypical way. I'm just like, he's a guy who's a person and he happens to love a man, but that's not the most important thing about him, right? It's maybe the fifth most important thing about him.
He's also a genius.
Right, he's a genius. He's an inventor, you know, he's all these things. And none of us really live our lives through who we love. Like, none of us are like, I'm straightening it up today. Like, I'm so straight, you know, like, nobody does that, you know. So I think it's just a thing of the more we see it, the less it matters, right? And the more we just accept that everyone's different and just let people live their lives and do what they want. And the reason why it's really important for me is like I have a lot of people very close to my family and my inner circle who are part of the LGBT community, and the pride that they get in seeing him portrayed in a way that's, you know, not negative or anything like that, and it's just a person, is really what makes me extremely happy. And just hearing how they feel about getting to see someone like them on TV, I think is like really important, because that's what I saw as a kid watching Will Smith and whatnot, and it's always good to have representation out there.
With you playing Mr. Terrific, I know you're a geek, so you were probably reading the comic books just like the rest of us, and they've added more layers. I actually fanboy squealed when you got the jacket on the show.
Oh, yeah.
But you play him, your comedic timing is fantastic. Did you kind of go back and forth with the writers and say, I want him to be more comedic than he is in the comics, or where'd that come about?
I mean, it's always a collaborative effort between the actors and the writers, but that was really them. I mean, I didn't know he was supposed to be Mr. Terrific, Curtis Holt. Like, all I got was like nerdy tech guy, works with Felicity. And so I was like, okay, cool, yeah, that sounds like I can play that. I used to work at Geek Squad, so I'm like, yeah, I can play nerdy tech guy, it's easy. And so that's just kind of the vision they had with it, but I do have a comedic background, so, you know, let me improv and they let me really play with how I deliver things and whatnot. They're really good about that, like kind of letting you make it your own. But it really, you know, Josh said it earlier, it really starts with writing, you know, and it's really us actors just trying to get their vision out, you know, what they see in their heads when they're writing it, and we just try to add as much as we can to breathe life into it. But it's a collaborative effort, but it really streams from them.
So when you signed on with them, did you know what your character arc was going to be going in?
By the time I signed on, yeah, because they let me know after my second audition. I met with like Mark and Wendy and whatnot, and came back in to audition for them, and they let me know at the end of the audition, like, so we just let you know this is Mr. Terrific, and I was like, word? You know, I try to be abreast of all the black superheroes. You know, I have to, I want to do that. And so I was like, wow, oh, okay, whoa, that's amazing, you know, and I didn't know kind of how it was going to come into fruition. It was cool to see like some of the Easter eggs in season 4, like with the T-spheres and stuff like that, and just, you know, it's so cheesy but awesome, but, you know, just like terrific, you know, just like that foreshadowing. But then when he finally got to come to his own, it was a really exciting time to like suit up, and you know, I understand what they want with them because you know you gotta have growing pains. You just can't like step into the field and be kicking ass. Like, yeah, I never trained, but I'm still doing as great as Green Arrow has been training for like 20 years or whatever, you know. But 5 years, I know it's 5 years. I'm just saying 20 years in the library. You know, I like seeing his trajectory. I think it's come up a place that's really cool, and when you finally see him, if he's still alive, you know, later you'll see like the growth that he had, and like really feel like he earned getting to the place where he is, you know, which is like, and my hope is like to really step into that like kind of badass frame, like the comic book character, and you know, really be just like confident, like know what's up. You know, I kind of look at this in Terrific like kind of like an origin to that, like for me personally, you know, but it's been a lot of fun. I just really can't wait to see what journey he goes on to if he's not dead.
We have time for one more question.
Okay, I just wanted to ask, you said it's a collaborative effort between you and the writers. Did you ever go to them and say, some people aren't going to believe that you say suit up and my hair is braided in 5 minutes?
You know, first of all, this L is on me. I take this L like, hardcore. Because they were literally like, yo, so can you like, we don't want to get, because I thought it was like, oh, probably seeing father like cut off my hair. I was like, I'll cut it, I'll crack or like whatever. But they're like, no, we want the afro, like afro stand, that's not going anywhere. But they were like, can you switch it up? I was like, I guess I can get it braided. You know what I'm saying? Like, just said, it was like, let's see a picture. It's like, that's perfect. It was like, yeah. And I was like, wait. Oh, man, I didn't think about this. You know, like, you know. But hopefully, like I said, if Curtis is around for season 6 or something, we'll kind of address in you know, some type of fun way. My head canon is that there's...
He can easily invent something.
Yeah, like he could just put some nanites in his hands and it was just like, boom. You know what I'm saying? It was like, whoa. I was saying, like, Kid Flash could be coming over there braiding it up real quick. I would like a quick little scene, like, boom, and it's like, done, cannon, boom, boom, boom. Let's do it. So let's talk to Mark now. Let's get it in.